What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Wow, I've got a bit of news to cover for you tonight. I kind of thought that maybe we were going to squeak by and not have that crazy news that I had that hunch. And over the last 24 hours, we've had, pardon me, a considerable amount of news that is very notable, things that we really need to pay attention to. So, and get into that. I'll tell you what, it was so awesome today when the gentleman picked up his reel-to-reel. It was like a kid in a candy store. He was all excited, and it was awesome to see. That made absolutely worth it. Was just a smile, you know. So he had some things to do once he got back home. We sat and chatted for a while, and he I enjoy talking to him. There is a connection with him beyond just this. I dated his niece for a very, very short time during high school, so I've met him before, so it's not like just totally out of the blue. But anyway, I know he had stuff to do, and then he was, I think, anxious to get home and start jamming out to some tunes. So it was awesome. It was awesome. And I don't know what all I wasn't doing right, but I couldn't get audio. I couldn't hear audio when I tried testing it. And so I just waited until, he got here and could show me. And I was doing everything right. But the only difference is when I tested it last night, I ran it through my mixer. And I used a patch cord set out of the back of it into the mixer. And I wasn't able to pull anything out. I could have had a bad patch cord. I haven't used patch cords, especially that one, since shortly after I got it. So it's a little short 3-foot one. But anyway, it was awesome to see him happy. I hope he's jamming out and having a good time. So, see, other than that, I got to do a little flying today. That was fun. I slammed a BF-109 into the ground probably about 20 times before I got the damn thing in the air. If you don't know, which I wouldn't expect most people to know, the old World War II fighters, some of them were a nightmare to get off the ground because the engines were so huge and powerful that they had a lot of torque. And what happens is the plane, as you're going down the runway gaining speed, the plane wants to do funny stuff on you because of all that torque. Wants to make you go to one side, and you have to fight it with the rudder and the brake, but you have to be careful because you can't fight it too much, or else the thing will start to lift off to the ground and dip a wing in, and you're done. And that's what I was doing most of the time. Put it over on end a couple of times. That thing was a bear to get up, but I finally did get it up. Flew it around for a little bit. I think I landed it without issue, didn't I? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it down. Yeah, I won't say without issue, but hey, we lived. So I got it down, and then I flew Corsair around for a little while. Another World War II fighter, which is a little more friendly. And let's see, what's the other one I flew around? Oh, I flew around a Cessna 172, an enhanced version of it. That was meh. it's a Cessna 172. It's it's gonna be meh no matter what. But I don't know. It was nice. I hadn't flown for a few days, so it was nice. Today is our Friday. Of course, it's Thursday, but it's our Friday, so I'm looking forward to hopefully getting in the morning and doing a little bit of flying. Then I'm going to get out there and get the shed stuff sewn up and get that all done so it's out of the way. It's always something, but I like that. I want to be doing stuff. So anyway, let's see. Let me think. I don't know that there's anything else necessarily that I can think of off the top of my head. I reckon we should probably start on this mess. I have, I do believe, 10 tabs open. And I could have probably, some of them I didn't have to do by any means, but hell. My coffee. Got to give myself fuel for speaking, for spoking. All right. Oh, you guys might want to see something, huh? Oh, by the way, I got one other comment to make. You know how you shouldn't judge a book by its cover? You shouldn't judge a YouTube channel by its name. So, I'm as anti-idol as you can get. And naturally for me, when people fawn over someone or some group or whatever, I have a natural tendency to go the other way. And most of the time it works out on my behalf. However, this time I don't think it did. And hey, I admit when I'm wrong. This is something I didn't even have to say. Could have just not ever said a word about it. But that's not how I grow. It's not how you grow. So, but there was a channel that I had heard, gosh, I couldn't tell you, over the past year, dozens of times. And just, I guess the channel name turned me off. Because I don't know. There's other reasons connected to it. We won't go there. But there's another reason connected to it, too. And the channel is, it's a weather channel. You guys probably all know it well, and it's that Ryan Hall, y'all. And I kept hearing everybody talk about that channel, and for some reason, in my head, and this is wrong, this is totally wrong, but for some reason in my head, I got some redneck-sounding dude that just does stupid shit, right? That was my thought, just from the channel name. And I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in an entertainer, okay? So, Bear earlier put out on his Patreon, a link to Ryan Hall, y'all, because, and if you will, say a few words to the Father for Bear and crew down there and everybody else. Thank you, Angel. And, everybody else, say a prayer too for him, Bear, and like I say, his whole crew down there. They've got some nasty weather heading their way. And it is some really nasty weather. So, Ohio as well. Ohio, Oklahoma, I believe it's Louisiana. No, Alabama. I'm sorry, Alabama. There was tornadic activity, so prayers all around for them. But nonetheless, Bear shared that link. And I kind of had a feeling, who it was going to be when I clicked the link, but I wasn't sure. I went ahead, clicked the link, sure enough. And I was as wrong gets. That dude's straight. That dude is straight. Yeah, that dude's solid. He's solid. Does a bang-up job of what he's doing. I mean, absolutely top-notch. And I mean that. The sense of urgency in his voice and his instruction to individuals that are in the path, impeccable. And I have to say that. Again, I'm not here to show you who I am, right? I'm here to be here with you. I'm not above you. I'm just some dumbass that, knows a few things. Not really a dumbass, but I'm certainly not a social person, and I absolutely suck at public and social things, and it is what it is. But I can figure stuff out, and that's why I'm here. So, anyway, awesome channel. I reckon we ought to start getting into what's going on. Like I said, I've got 10 tabs open, and most of them we kind of really need to go over. So, oh, I hear you there, man. I hear you there, Hexafoos. I loved storm chasing back in the day. That's fun. That was fun. I'm an idiot, but that was fun. I don't know how that even happened with me because, and here's another thing, never have to tell you about, but hey. So when I was a kid, scared to death of thunderstorms, scared to death. And if I heard a tornado siren, I would lose my freaking mind. And it didn't even have to be a storm. I would lose my mind on the first Tuesday of every month at 10:30 a.m. when they tested the damn things. Kid you not. There is a story in my history of me refusing to not get on and remain on the teacher's lap for the duration of the tornado siren. So that may or may not be a memory of mine. Well, actually, I don't remember it, but it happened. I'm sure it happened. I've been reminded. I actually don't remember that, though. But that makes sense, because that would have been a very horrific thing, and my mind likely blocked that. So there's a lot of blocked stuff in my past, so I'll leave that at that, though. And anyway, multiple U.S. government agencies hit by cyberattack. So, it says CNN. I didn't have room to fit that in the show's title. I don't know where to even go on this, because you guys know I hold any news and information very loosely. I go over it. I talk about it with you. But I'm damn straight not going to get behind any of it as being the gospel. So, it is what it is. I do see our state down there, though. So let's jump on into this. It says several U.S. government agencies have been targeted in an ongoing global hacking spree, CNN reported on Thursday. While Washington is not commenting on who is to blame, Russian-speaking groups have taken responsibility for similar intrusions in recent weeks. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is providing support to several federal agencies that have experienced intrusions, an agency official told the American broadcaster. We are working urgently to understand impacts and ensure timely remediation. It is unclear who carried out the attack and how many agencies were affected. The attack is the latest in a slew of hacks targeting Western corporations, universities, governments, and in the last 2 weeks, state governments in Minnesota and Illinois have been hit, as have the BBC, British Airways, and oil giant Shell. A Russian-speaking group known as CIOP, has taken responsibility for most of the breaches, promising to start publishing data obtained from the affected targets if its ransom demands are not met, according to CNN. The group exploited a vulnerability in popular file transfer program called MoveIt to gain access to its targets. In a video released on Wednesday, the Russian-speaking hacktivist groups Killnet and Are Evil or whatever, as well as another group calling itself Anonymous Sudan, had said that they would launch a campaign targeting European banks and financial institutions without mercy. These organizations have allegedly targeted U.S. and other Western governments in the past, although that it is unclear whether they took part in any recent attacks. So, I don't know, Yeah, Hexafu said PSYOP, right. And then Angel, yeah, mentioned Russia was mentioned in the story. Yeah, I mean, if our grid went down right now, I would not be confident whatsoever in picking someone to point at. I wouldn't. Because it could be, it's a very good chance it could be our own government. But beyond that, it could be, China, it could be Russia, it could be, maybe some little dude in North Korea figured out an exploit or something like that. That's the thing about hacking. Is because hacking, in a sense, is almost kind of like, say a firearm, because it can literally make a David be able to slay Goliath. The concerning thing is involving technology and coding and all of that and the direction it's going. And I have a feeling that there's going to be some kind of AI unleashed. And whether it be as a weapon against other nations, a weapon against corporations, or whatever the case may be, I think it's going to wreak havoc. And I don't think there's going to be much to stop it. So, it's crazy. Coffee. Too bad there's not really clouds in the sky. It'd probably be a beautiful sunset if there were little clouds in the sky. It's the Midwest. So if there's not clouds in the sky, you just got like freaking flat farm fields and areas of trees. It's not real exciting. Anyway. Next. You're going to love this. You are so going to love this. This came out, by the way, right after last night's show. Not this one, the one I'm getting ready to cover. And, yeah, I really should have had somebody build me that brick wall to slam my head up against. U.S. sends more fighter jets to its Middle East. To its Middle East? It's our Middle East? What? Huh. Funny, isn't it? Let's see. The U.S. military has sent additional fighter jets to the Middle East after accusing Russia of increasingly unsafe aircraft activity in the region, including during several incidents in Syria. F-22 Raptors with the 94th Fighter Squadron have been deployed from Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, according to Central Command, which oversees U.S. military operations in the Middle East, Central Asia, and parts of Africa. Now, hold up. You all know that I'm an aviation fanboy. And I talk about aircraft as much as possible because I love them. I really, really love fighter jets. A lot. And I know a little bit about them. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that's top secret and nobody knows nothing about it. Like top speed. We don't even know the actual top speed of the damn thing. We don't even know the maximum, the true maximum altitude that it can go. Now, there's people that argue that, oh, we know that, but they don't. And they don't. As far as I know, we still haven't actually been given the true speed of the SR-71 Blackbird. So, it's going to be a while before we hear about the F-35 and the F-22. To my knowledge, the F-35 is one fast mofo. I don't like the F-35. I don't believe that the handling characteristics can't even say it. Characteristics of that aircraft, I don't. Nah. That's my baby right there in front of you, the F-22 Raptor. That thing is just artwork in the sky. And there's a reason why I feel that way. Those things are incredible. They are mind-blowing incredible. They are not as common as many of the other aircraft, including F-35s. But I'm talking F-18s and the rest of the gambit out there. And for them to move this particular chess piece is a very, very big deal. Very big deal. So this is something to pay attention to. And I just want to make that very clear. If you see them moving F-22s, shit might be about to get real. Pardon the language, but this is something to pay attention to. It goes on to say the decision was part of a multifaceted show of U.S. support and capability in the wake of increasingly unsafe and unprofessional behavior by Russian aircraft, CENTCOM said in a press release on Wednesday. Pentagon officials have accused Moscow of reckless flights over U.S. bases in Syria in recent weeks, with CENTCOM Chief General Eric Kurilla claiming there has been a significant spike in provocative action since March. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal in April, Air Force Lieutenant General Alexis Grinkiewicz warned that the rise in tensions could lead to a miscalculation among Russian and American pilots operating in Syria, stating there were 60 separate incidents between March and April alone. Moscow has similarly accused Washington of unprofessional behavior in Syria. Last month, Rear Admiral Oleg Gurnov, deputy head of the Russian Center for Reconciliation of Warring Parties in Syria, said American warplanes continued to commit gross violations of deconfliction protocols. U.S. Air Force pilots continue to activate weapon systems when approaching in the air with Russian Aerospace Forces aircraft performing planned flights in eastern Syria, the official added. The U.S. currently maintains about 900 ground troops in Syria and operates a network of air bases around the region. The new aircraft deployment also comes after CENTCOM said it would strengthen the U.S. defense posture in the Middle East, with additional naval assets vowing to carry out heightened patrols in the Persian Gulf in response to destabilizing actions by Tehran. So, here's my thoughts on the Middle East. Not a good place for us to be any longer. Because I have a feeling in short order, you're going to start seeing these countries like Syria become very unfriendly to the United States. Because they're going to have the backing of Russia and China and Iran, as far as that goes. So, I kind of have a feeling that how this is going to work out is that in the Middle East, if we lose the capability to have like those air bases, say in Syria and stuff like that, and I'm not really sure what's going on with like Afghanistan. I don't know. I thought there was other places around there that we had little air bases set up and stuff, but I can't remember exactly which countries it is. But I think we're going to lose those real quick. And the only reason why we've been able to do what we've done is just simply because, well, it wouldn't work out too well for them to try to push us out. If Syria started attacking our troops to push us out, Syria would get a mud hole stomped in them, and we all know that. So I don't think that's going to be an issue for Syria for very much longer. And then once we lose those footholds in those places, that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. And I would say that the chances are very high that we're going to lose those footholds real quick like because of this move of these F-22s. Now, normally, probably wouldn't have such an effect. But considering everything that's going on and the way the puzzle pieces are starting to line up, there's a good chance this is going to push them to say, nope, you're out of here. So, and have the support of Russia, China, Iran to be able to make sure we stay out of there. There is a possibility that that whole region, we're talking, the Ukraine area, we're talking Europe, we're talking parts of UK, middle parts of the Middle East, there's a good chance that a whole lot of that could go up real quick. It's a powder keg. It really truly is. It's a powder keg, and it wouldn't take a whole lot for multiple fronts to start at really close to the same time. So just kind of keep your eye out on stuff like this. Coffee. Japan may change stance on arms exports. I'm not going to read all of this one. It says Japan is in talks with the U.S. about shipping artillery rounds from its own arsenals to backfill Washington stocks, the Wall Street Journal has reported. The outlet cited the depletion of American ammunition depots due to its military aid to Ukraine. Japan has for decades refrained from exporting lethal weapons. In its article on Thursday, the Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the talks, claimed that Tokyo could supply 155mm artillery shells to the U.S. The scheme, if approved, would reportedly not entail Japanese ammunition being sent directly to Ukraine. Japan's Ministry of Defense said in a statement that no decision has been made so far and the discussions are still underway. I know that they've talked about the replenishment of these weapons, but I'm not convinced that they've acted on the replenishment of these weapons. And I'm not talking about this stuff with like other countries backfilling, as they want to call it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that we aren't, to my knowledge, we're not like in mass production of replacing our things that I know of. There was a headline yesterday. Let me think. I don't think that it's under danger though. And I do know that there was more equipment that they had moved in to help. Right. And there was something that they had moved in to back that up, unless something else happened. Did something like happen today? Because my news that I'm going on is from like yesterday and the day before. So you may know something that's a little more recent. So I know that they had talked about moving in some piece of equipment, and that wasn't a concern or something. Now, I'm not saying necessarily what you're saying wasn't a concern, but whatever it was they were worried about. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much all on that. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And my comment about that, about not being real confident that we're actually building more munitions right now, that we're ramping up our production. It almost seems like they're draining as many countries dry of weapons. Oh, shit. Oh. I wonder if that's what's going on. You know that I won't completely push out of my mind that these countries are actually working together, and all that we see, all that we're told, is nothing but a show. And there's biblical reasons why I feel that way. There's, I mean, a lot of reasons why I feel that way. So just run this around in your mind. What would you think if, let's say, Russia and the United States worked to help deplete most of the country's weapons, and then turn around and try to take over those countries? It's absolutely tinfoil hat stuff. But wow. It's plausible. Certainly plausible. Something's up with this, because they're going from country to country to country and just wiping out their weapon stocks. Just seems a little interesting to me. West should target Russians like U.S. treated Japanese in World War II, says a Czech president. I saw that headline and I was like, ooh. Yeah, this ain't good. This ain't good, and I don't agree. I don't think that the West should target Russians like we did the Japanese in World War II. I'm not going to read this article. I mainly wanted to make you aware of the comment, of the sentiment, because that's a pretty, in my opinion, a pretty big one. Go on with what, or did I finish my thought? Oh, yeah, I do. It almost seems like they're going around trying to deplete all the other nations' weapons, and so I have to ask myself, well, what's the motive behind that? Well, the only reason why you'd want to deplete other countries' weapons is so that they couldn't defend themselves. That's insane. But absolutely plausible. I mean, I'm looking at the board at all the puzzle pieces, if you will, and I could see them getting arranged that way. Absolutely. Because that's how they're taking us over as far as the U.S. government. They just split us up. Democrats, Republicans, and they work together towards the same end. And the people fall for it and allow it to happen. Encourage it to happen, as a matter of fact. I mean, I don't see how it could be very different with the nations itself. With the different nations. So Wait a minute, homie. Come on. Ask me for the coil. Yeah, that looks better. For some reason, I had my coil a bit low, and it was a bit weak. Now it won't be weak. It'll be a little bit crazy. I had it read the coil while it was already hot. And so, yeah. I love temperature control. It's awesome. Nations lining up to join BRICS, says Russian Deputy FM. Yeah, holy crap. Yeah, definitely got enough vape that time. An increasing number of nations are moving toward joining the BRICS bloc, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister, damn, it's still coming out, Sergei Ryabakov has said. Nearly 20 candidates, wow, there's these simple words I can't speak tonight, are currently in the pipeline. In the pipe? Really? Is it like a brass pipe? Is it? Oh, wait, no, different story. With current member states deciding on how to organize the expansion, he said. BRICS, which began as an informal club of non-Western developing nations, plays an increasing and already significant role in the international arena, the diplomat told TASS on Thursday. The organization rejects the idea that some nations should lead others and instead determines its agenda based on its consensus, Ryabakov added. The group currently comprises Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa as full-fledged members, but a number of nations have already applied to join. These include Turkey, Mexico, Indonesia, the UAE, and Egypt, among others. Ryabakov said member states are still discussing how exactly BRICS expansion would happen and what criteria, if any, candidates would have to meet. South Africa, which was not a founding member and was invited in 2010, joined without preconditions, he noted. I believe strong candidates, of which there are many, can turn to that experience too when they make predictions of what can and cannot happen in their cases, the Russian official suggested. So the bloc may introduce a framework for admitting new members before the August summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. This stuff is important to pay attention to. Because let's say, that's meeting in August, let's say they get said framework, thanks Angel, let's say they get said framework in place, by then. And so August, they bring in all these other countries that want to join. That one event could most certainly be enough to cause the dollar to go poof. So, keep an eye on this stuff. I really, so I have this thing, and it's just kind of like a feeling. It's just kind of like a gut feeling. And, I've always had a real good idea where I felt the direction things were going, and I could get a somewhat clearer picture of what was going to come. And I sit here and I think about our actually pretty near future. Now I'm talking things like the 2024 election, just as one example of many, many things. And it's when I look in that direction to try to get a feel of how I think things are going to go, all I see is darkness. That's it. I can't get a feel on any of it. I can't get a feel on the election. It's strange. It is a very weird feeling, and one that I'm, to be honest, not real used to. And that concerns me. So keep doing the things. Please don't give up doing the things. Please don't give up learning. Please don't. Now is not the time to slack. I am not, or coast or whatever. I am not one to be an alarmist. I don't want to be an alarmist. But at the same time, I want you to be prepared. I want you to be ready. And there's a whole lot of stuff that we're staring right down the barrel of, and I don't see any possible way to pull out a good ending. You know, this is the flip off the high bar that you know is not going to end well. And unfortunately, that covers multiple areas, from economy to international relations to, I mean, we're going off multiple cliffs at the same time. So it's really kind of hard to get a feel where we might actually be going. And you're right, Angel. Selection, not election. Exactly right. Oh, man. Yeah. Hang on a second. I was just talking to a friend yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I think it was yesterday when I was talking to him, or day before, one of the two. And actually, it was last night. Duh. Well, when Chuck called, and we had talked about generators and stuff a bit, and boy, I'll tell you what, those seem to be kind of inching up there in cost again for just your average run-of-the-mill, you know, whether it be dual fuel, whether it be just gasoline or whatever. They're starting to get back up there in cost. The battery boxes, if you will, solar generators, I hate calling them that, but now those seem to be still kind of stable, but it seems for some reason like the gasoline generators and stuff are kind of fluctuating quite a bit right now, so it's kind of crazy. We don't have a gasoline or a, you know, LP or propane or anything like that type of generator, and I wouldn't mind having one, and if we ever luck into being able to get one, I absolutely will, but I wanted to make sure I had that solar down first, because we just have no idea what's going to happen, and even that might not pan out, you know. There's no guarantees for any of it, which kind of sucks, but all we can do is our best and try to cover as many possible problems with as many different solutions from as many different angles as we possibly can, and that's all we can do. So I think Biden needs to give me my damn F-15 he said that I needed, and some ice cream. I could do some ice cream. Some presidential ice cream, that would be nice. But, you know, he could also give me a bunker. You know, nothing major. Have one of those tunnel machines just come under right here, and it'll be all right. Okay, I'll stop being crazy. I'll get back to the news. Yeah, I saw this headline, and I'm like, huh, imagine that. Imagine that. There are reasons. Headline came out. I was looking to see if it was something impotent, and at least not so much right at the moment. I don't know why it is that I could possibly have the suspicion that these governments are working together. No idea at all. But I've got this article here. U.S. still spending billions on Russian uranium, says New York Times. It's kind of like the Russian oil, right? All them sanctions we put on, we're slapping the shit out of Russia, aren't we? But we're still importing their oil and apparently uranium. Despite Washington's near total economic blockade on Moscow, which, American companies still purchase around $1 billion worth of Russian uranium every year, the New York Times reported on Wednesday. Hey, folks, this isn't Putin reporting this. And Trump's not president. This is the New York Times. Biden's at the helm, and New York Times is telling you this. Probably going to be accurate this time. Efforts to reduce this reliance have thus far failed. Wait, let me read that again, because there's particular words in there that maybe we ought to look at for a second. Efforts to reduce this reliance have thus far failed. So let me get this straight. We're relying on Russia for uranium. We rely on China from everything from toothpaste to medicine to frickin' wax toilet bowl rings, whatever, right? And we're just trying to piss all over the both of them. I don't think that's a good idea. Something says that that's not a really good tactical decision. That nuclear fuels have been conspicuously absent from the dozens of sanctions packages announced by the U.S. and EU since Russia's military operation in Ukraine began last year. Yeah, see, they didn't sanction that. And they didn't slow down how much they're buying. So, and Russia, this is uranium, folks. Uranium. And Russia's selling it to us. So, yeah, do you think they're really concerned about us using that uranium to build nuclear weapons to attack them with? That just doesn't add up. I don't know. Would you give your enemies the supplies they need to build shit to kill you with? I don't think I would. It's insane. And we're supposed to believe the crapola that they tell us. Folks, the Bible is very clear about being very careful of who you trust. And it's very clear about how in the end times that there will be a lot of individuals fooled. Try your damnedest not to be one. That's why I will not back Republicans. I will not back Democrats. I will not back a country in a conflict like Russia and Ukraine. I won't back either one. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And that doesn't change. You know? The Bible doesn't say it's okay for me to kill this guy because my government don't like his government. It doesn't say that in the Bible. It doesn't give me that clearing for sin, for taking another human being's life just because my government told me to. You're only supposed to take another's life in self-defense. And I'm pretty sure that doesn't mean putting yourself in their face to be in that self-defense situation. I can't really support war. It is what it is. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say, peace, love, doves, hug some trees and stuff. I mean, that's all good stuff. But you have to be able to kick some ass. Don't get me wrong. You have to be capable of kicking ass and willing to kick ass. But that should be a last resort. Psalms 29. Let me look that up because I know it's right there, but ascribe to the Lord, O mighty ones. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Are we in the right place? Hang on. This is the NIV. I'm trying to find which part of it is. I'd have to tear that apart. Oops. Meaning, sit down with my Bibles and look at it. I will do that. Psalm 29. I will do that. I want to dig into that. I'm actually going to pop that out and keep it open to the side. Because I've got, like, multiple Bibles. And I kind of look at them all, and then I'll address things with Strong's and all of that stuff, because I want to dig into every single little word. I want to, because it's important stuff. And this scripture here, for some reason, it doesn't stand as in something that I remember. And that actually kind of gets me. So, I mean, I don't remember this at all. So I want to definitely dig into it. So thank you. Thank you. I will dig into this. Let's see. Oops. Didn't mean to get on that one yet. So yeah, I don't know how much I buy this stuff. Next up, North Korea fires ballistic missiles towards Japan. The rockets reportedly failed to reach land and fell into the sea in Japan's exclusive economic zone. So, they were short-range ballistic missiles. Not really a lot has been, I'm still waiting to see what happens if they try launching a satellite. Because I have a feeling that if Japan knocks a satellite out of the air before it can get put into space, I have a feeling that there might be some other things heading towards Japan's way real quick like. So, and considering that they've got hypersonic missiles, meaning North Korea, and Japan don't, not gonna be a good day, Tater. Israel to sell tanks to European country. Huh. Really? Really? Now, but don't stop there. The next headline, gonna make this sound bipolar. Seriously, it's like messed up. So Israel to sell tanks to European countries. It says Israel is negotiating the sale of older Merkava tanks to two unnamed countries, one of which is in Europe. The defense ministry said in West Jerusalem, revealed on Thursday. The deal is the first of its kind and expected to come through within the next 3 months if approved by the U.S. Okay? So apparently we have to approve this. There are two potential countries with which we are holding advanced negotiations. I am barred from naming them, but one is on the European continent. Yair Kulis, the head of Israeli Defense Ministry's Directorate for International Cooperation, or CBOT, told the finance outlet Calcalist. Kulis explained that many European countries have emptied their arsenals to supply Ukraine. Seems like we just talked about that. And seek to replenish them with more modern systems. Good luck with that. Which is where Israeli industries come into the picture. Oh, we've got weapons to sell. Military-industrial complex has always got something to sell. Producing tanks takes time, so it's easier to buy them used, he added. There is potential for several hundred million shekels there, said Kulis. Or should we just start calling him Klaus? which would translate into tens of millions of dollars. On Wednesday, the Israeli Ministry of Defense reported a $12.5 billion in weapons sales for 2022, amounting to an all-time record. Imagine that. I mean, and bless these people, especially these nations that build themselves on the Father, and yeah, I'm not quite sure how that all works, but I'm pretty sure it, in reality, doesn't. However, we started talking about what Israel's going to do. Nah. But you know them Gentiles. Them Gentiles just can't do anything right, can they? Israel fears consequences of West arming Ukraine, says Newsweek. So, hey, Israel can do it. A-okay. But the West doing it, it's concerning. Let's ask them why, shall we? The Israeli military has seen signs that Western weapons have been smuggled from Ukraine to Iran, and Israel Defense Forces commander told Newsweek on Thursday. Russia has repeatedly warned that arms sent to Ukraine will inevitably end up being sold to the highest bidder. The anonymous Israeli commander said that Javelin anti-tank missile launchers are among the weapons that have been diverted to Iran, primarily via the Black Sea and Mediterranean and onward across land. The commander claimed that paramilitary forces on both sides of the conflict, a term that could include Ukrainian neo-Nazi and foreign volunteer units on one side and Donbass militia units and the Wagner private military company on the other, were taking part in the scheme. Whoa. So you're not telling me, actually you are, that both Russia and Ukraine are selling these weapons and equipment to the Middle East? I can't for the life of me figure out why I would have a suspicion that they might be all working together. I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. Just seems like there's a couple of indicators here and there that, seems like they're working together. You know a good punishment? Unfortunately, it was done to the wrong people. But a good punishment, would be burning them at the stake. All the people that's behind this, all this bloodshed, all the hunger, poverty in general, the homelessness, the fact that vets can go give their all or show up to give their all, and when they come home, if they're lucky enough to do so, they just get shit on by the very government that they swore an oath to protect. Burning at the stake. Hanging is way too good. Way too nice. Too humane for these people. I know that sounds rough, but man, rough is the little boy and the little girl that no longer has a mom or a dad coming home to them. because of these jackasses and their schemes. Burning them at the stake is fitting, in my opinion. And again, I know that's a horrible thought that didn't even need to be said. Maybe, I think it needed to be said, for whatever that is worth. It pisses me off. I'm telling you, these people are working together. The shit that's going on is absolutely unnecessary. Let's see. Okay, let me share this one out. I heard this earlier. Not anything too nuts. Man locked out a smart home for a week after delivery driver accuses him of being racist. So apparently, the dude wasn't even home. And I guess his doorbell has an automated response or whatever. And I guess the Amazon delivery driver claimed that the automated response that came from the doorbell made some type of a racist comment. Turns out the Amazon delivery driver had headphones on to begin with. And I guess there were copies from multiple positions from security cameras that caught the audio. And nothing was foul. The guy is wrong. The Amazon driver was wrong. And so this dude was locked out of his stuff. Like, all of his stuff. Don't do this stuff, folks. Don't do the smart home stuff. Please don't. Please don't. The smart thermostats, the Alexas, the Google Homes, or whatever. No, leave that shit on the shelf. Please. Please. Yeah, oops, didn't mean to do that. This damn thing is bad enough. This cell phone is way, way, way bad enough. I mean, it's just as bad as all that other stuff. Okay, but it doesn't help adding on to it. You know, honey, I don't think one spy device in our home is enough. I think we need 4 or 5 spy devices in our home to make damn sure they hear perfectly clear everything we say any room we're in. That sounds like a life goal. Leave that stuff on the shelf, folks, please. Convenient isn't always good. Okay. We made it to this point of the night. I'm getting pretty damn low on coffee, so we need to be wrapping this up. I agree. They're absolutely sick, brother. Let's see. I covered that. Let me have a few vapes before we get going. Run through these. Like I said, I'm going to enjoy days off. I think I'm going to fly a little bit in the morning, right when I get up. And then I'm going to go work on the sheds to get that finished up. And I might try to find some kind of a movie for us to watch either tomorrow night or the following night. We usually watch a movie on the weekend, on our weekend, so to speak, which starts on Friday. But we usually watch a movie, and that's really our only entertainment time that we really, have. It's one movie or so. All right. I think I'm nicotined up enough. I've been huffed by blues, so I think everything's good to go. Where's that? I think she's really curled up tight by the door or something. Ah, you're welcome, and thank you for coming, Angel. Let's see. Crimea attacked by drones, says governor. Ukraine considered destroying all bridges around Kiev, says BBC. Spelling errors slowing down EU state seizure of Russian money. Russia delivers surprise in millionaire outflow rating. UK unveils new drones for Ukraine. Russian finance ministry explains why it scrapped planned tax hike for workers abroad. Sanctions are boosting Russia-China trade, says leading entrepreneur. Kiev intends to kill as many Russians as possible, says top Zelensky aide. Russia ready to auction property of Ukrainian oligarchs, says top Crimean MP. Moscow outlines conditions for nuclear weapons use, and no, I didn't bring that up. It's the same thing they've been saying, that they would only be used if Putin felt like the threat was an existential one, and then that's when they would use them. Same answer as it's always been. A Latin American country joins Russia's visa alternative. Russia's economic future lies in Arctic, says minister tells RT. Eco-activists vandalize Monet artwork. I don't understand that either. I much more understand blocking road, and I know a lot of people hate the roadways being blocked and all that. To me, it's a form of protest. I don't get all up in my panties about it. And I don't get up in my panties about the artwork. I'm not into art. But to me, that's stupid, right? Blocking a roadway, yeah, that's making some people's lives miserable. It's pissing some people off, which is kind of the frickin' point of civil disobedience. But these folks are actually damaging stuff. I mean, standing in a roadway is not damaging much but people's attitudes. You know what I mean? I get it. Frustrating and people don't like it, but it's not permanently damaging anything like gluing yourself to a piece of art. I don't think that they should play with these people. I really don't. Now, I know there was just a news article in recent days how they just actually, I think, sentenced some others that did it before. I think it was the Van Gogh stuff. I think it was last couple of days I saw a headline about that. So, let's see. I covered that. Yuan emerging as global reserve currency, says Russian development official. Kremlin comments on future of privatization. Russia reveals plans for Suez Canal substitute. EU no longer Russia's leading trade partner, says acting customs head. Well, no, probably because China is, or, India or one of these other nations. Kiev urged to honor shark that ate Russian men. So a Russian dude gets eaten by a shark, and they're urging Kiev to honor the shark. So I don't know if they have like a Jaws award or what, but I'm sure they'll come up with something. U.S. still spending... Oh, I covered that. India outlines new areas for cooperation with Russia. Glue your hand to the road. Oh, that would be a hilarious twist of fate, would it not? Do it on a foggy night. That'll teach 'em. That's good, dude. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Russia admits surprise at speed of adaptation to Western business exits. Kremlin ridicules top Zelensky aide over kill conscripts goal. Oh, yeah, this one. Beyonce blamed for inflation rise in EU country. It's Beyonce's fault. U.S. demands big results from Ukraine's counteroffensive soon, says Politico. Let's see. Russia hints at terms for returning to New START nuclear deal, and I didn't put that up because I doubt you'll ever see that happen. Russia announces elections in new regions. Oh, this is kind of an entertainment associated, but I couldn't resist. Pop legend offers $13,000 for each destroyed Western tank. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Grigory Leps or something like that. I have no idea who the hell it is. Apparently there's a group, though. A group of Russian pop stars. So, I don't know. Then I guess offering money for destroyed tanks. For every tank they destroy of ours, they're offering money. Let's see. Ukraine's top telecom providers join Pride Month. I know you're really so super surprised at that, right? Le Pen doubles down on Crimea position. Let's see. Russian military shows off double tank kill. Zelensky boycotted in Swiss parliament. IAEA assesses chances of Russia-Ukraine nuclear safety deal. Top MP rules out Russia adopting Chinese-style Great Firewall. And the last headline I have is Pentagon leak suspect indicted. So, indubitably. Yeah, I kind of almost got it. Indubitably. That's a screwed up word. You know that? That's one of those words that should have never been made. Because it's like, really? People, you use the word and you just look at the person like they're stupid. Indubitably? What the fuck? Right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Probably just me. And anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here before I ramble on with my madness. Gonna get some rest. Gonna get some air time tomorrow. And some shed time. So, I'm looking forward to the days off. So, it's just nice, you know. I don't have to hurry up and finish up what I'm doing or whatever because I got to do the show or anything like that. It's nice. Anyway, I am out of here. I appreciate everybody coming. God willing, we'll be back Sunday. We'll do it again. Keep your eyes peeled, please. Today was a pretty serious news day. So keep your eyes peeled. We know how Fridays can be. We know how weekends can be. Just keep your eyes open. Other than that, I hope to see you Sunday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. So as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.